Welcome back everybody. So this is gonna be a quick update video for you guys on stock market, and before we get started, please smash that like button, and 100 plus likes on this video would be greatly appreciated guys. And if you're new here, consider subscribing. Now if you want to get my daily trade ideas, swing trade ideas, live trading, and you want to support the channel, definitely check out their link down below in the description for Patreon. All right, so what we got here in the market today? Well, Dow Jones going down near 1%, Nasdaq going down 1.36%, S&P down near 1%, and Russell going down over 1%. Here's the 11 sectors that makes up S&P 500, and pretty much everything in deep red today. And you can see right here, consumer cyclical got hit by Amazon and Tesla. They were down big today. Basic materials also was down. Communication services, everything pretty much down on the day. Stock market map, what we got here on stock market map? Well, there is a surprise here on stock market map. Google down over 3%, Amazon down 4%, Tesla down 3.5%, Apple down 2.5%, even Broadcom is also down, Microsoft also down. But look at right here, guys. Despite the sell-off in the market everywhere, Nvidia lives on another green day, up almost 1%. You can see some of these big banks are also down on the day, and Eli Lilly here with some good earnings. That one is up near 1%. And finally, some big names like Walmart and Costco, after hitting brand new all-time highs, just coming off a tiny bit. And unfortunately, fear and greed index still reading here on fear 39. So I mean, yes, there is a lot of fear, but market came down. It's not something I would call a significant pullback. It just came off, and S&P 500 is still holding, or SPY actually holding at 600, over 600. So that is the big thing to watch going into next week. But you can see here, it's hitting that fear on fear and greed index, and it's reading at 39. Now one more thing I want to point out here, you can see the breadth, market breadth, it's definitely not good here. You can see it's on fear, put to call options. You can see also, I mean, there were a lot of calls before that, and now you can see coming off a tiny bit, but nothing really going crazy here in the market. And we got lots of things happening with Trump. He's going back and forth all over the place. Lots of news. There is more tariffs that is actually going to happen. He said he's going to put more tariffs on more countries. So that triggered that sell-off, and then the unemployment rate actually dropped down to a low 4%, which is good. But who knows if these numbers are right or wrong, because nobody's actually telling us what is the exact amount, because these are numbers coming out of the government, and it was coming out the same way before. But the real world is different, guys. Same thing with inflation. And if these jobs are there, well, obviously people are going to spend money, and they're gonna spend money if they have money, and that means what? Inflation is not gonna come down if they have jobs. Obviously, inflation is not gonna come down. So Jay Powell's got work to do, and I don't think rates are coming down, especially with what we got today. Labor market is really strong, and then we got also unemployment dropping down to 4%. So if it's actually true, I mean, he's got a lot of work to do, and especially with tariffs now, inflation will skyrocket once again. I'm already seeing, forget about other people. Just go to Costco and look at the eggs, look at the other stuff. They're just, people are just, buying everything now because they know very soon these prices are not going to stay where they are. They're gonna probably go up even more. So it's a really big mess, but the market is still trading near all-time highs. We just got a tiny bit of pullback. I would not even call this a massive pullback. Yes, we got a sell-off, a red day on Friday, but nothing significant, and we'll see how that plays out going into next week. On triple Q, it's down 1.26%, so it came down all the way down to 522. And if you look at my screen, we can actually afford a pullback. You can see these candles, four green candles, and now finally we're retracing like halfway back from this rally, 4-day rally, back up to the upside. And now it's pulling back into an area where we got a lot of support. We have red line, 50-day moving average. We have positive sloping 20-day moving average sitting at 520. So I would give still benefit of the doubt to the bulls, because we're still trading over 520. Now, If there is a gap down going into Monday, we gap down, and especially we take out, I would say, these lows down here, guys, 510. Don't forget, we saw SPY coming down, even Dow Jones coming down and closing that gap from election, where this thing is still, not even nowhere near this gap, which is at 492, 493. So here on Qs, it lives on over 520, and now resistance will be right here at 525, 527, and we got really close to 533 today. And you can see that is a big pullback. That is a $10 pullback from the top. And if you caught it like we did, you will see it in this video where we caught SPY. It was a really nice setup today, and we made a lot of money on that trade. So here on Qs, watch out, next support 520, and then possibly down here around 516 and then 510. To the upside, right here, there will be resistance at 525. These moving averages 527 and then 533. Here's my X account, and if you guys are on there, definitely give me a follow. And I want to share some fantastic trade ideas with you guys in this video. And let's just share one that has actually really low risk and high reward. You can see Uber, it actually dropped on the 5th. Earnings came out, it came down. We bought at $64, and now you can see only bought 300 shares. And this thing went to the moon already. So this was a really nice setup on Uber that we played, just holding overnights, and that's somebody's weekly paycheck right here, just from 300 shares, guys, just 300 shares. No risk, nothing, just good old shares buying and holding overnight. Now this was from today, Friday, and you can see I got in here on Meta at 723. Meta was trading at 723, got 690 puts on Meta, and this thing also paid, I think it was like 50, 55%. But this was the biggest trade right here, guys. On SPY, you can see these levels came out pre-market before opening at 9:38 a.m. This is where I got in. It was trading at 608 pretty much exactly. 603 2DT, 2 days to go, expiration, and then what happened? Massive move here on SPY. It came down significantly, and we made money on that trade. So it was a really fantastic trade idea. So all these trades, and especially now that I'm doing these trade ideas for serious people. If you're really one of those guys out there, or even ladies, you're serious about trading and you want to become a better trader, you want to learn, then definitely it's worth every penny. Check out my link down below in the description for Patreon, and make sure you go for that Premium Plus membership. On SPY ETF, it's down 0.92%. So you can see also a positive slope on 20-day moving average. It's crossing over 50 days. So I would not call this a really bad sell-off. Yes, we got some news, which is not good, or some cases it's actually good. Having more jobs and especially low unemployment rate is good for one thing for economy, but it's not good for inflation, and especially not good news for a guy who's trying to bring inflation down to 2%, right? So it's kind of like both. It's good, but then it's not good, but then it's good, but it's also not good for inflation. I mean, it's just a total mess, right? So here on SPY, you can see 600-year line in the sand right here for Monday session. We open below that. We do have support right here. You can see at 598, 50-day and 20-day moving average. And if that gives up, we might be coming back and retracing back down to 590, and we still have this gap. And this is a critical support gap fill reversal right here at 585 to 586 on SPY. To the upside, resistance will be at 603. If we can get over that, you're going to see a move up to 609. And you guys saw that play on SPY. You can see exactly this is where we showed at 608, and this thing came down just within a few minutes, and it was a really nice setup. So sometimes you gotta just wait and see what the market does. And if the market is presenting you a nice opportunity, that is when you go in and you kill it. Because if you're just going in blindly, obviously you're going to lose money. So this was a really nice setup, and setups like this don't really come every day, but when they do, and if you can capitalize, you're going to make a lot of money. On Dow Jones, it's also down near 1%, and you can see this thing broke under 445, and now next critical support will be down here at 440. Underneath that level, 438. and we have positive slope on 50-day and 20-day moving average. So if this thing pulls back, this support can actually hold. And right here, if we cannot hold here on Dow Jones at this level, 440, 438, you're going to see a drop right down here. 433 gap fill reversal, which can act as a support. You can see also there was a resistance here. So this is going to be the next big level of support to watch. But to the upside, resistance will be at 445. Over that, this thing can move back up to 450 plus and possibly can retest previous all-time highs once again. On 1%, and you can see this thing crushed and got under 227 and barely holding on to this rising 20-day moving average, this white line, 225.66. So this is going to be your key line in the sand going into Monday session. If this thing opens below 226, we might see a flush all the way down to this gap, 220. To the upside, strong resistance will be at 227, right here at 229. Over that, watch out for 230 to 233. When VIX is up almost 7%, so this thing did not get over this red line, 5-day moving average 16.73. We get that Monday, maybe another gap up and go, just like it did right here. Then watch out for a move up to 18. And once we get over 18, guys, that is when I'll be really careful in this market buying any dips. If this thing crosses over 18, then it can easily go up to 20 plus. Now, as long as VIX remains under 5-day moving average right here, 16.73, then watch out for the critical support, and we got to bounce off of that even today, 15 bucks, and then this thing can go much lower down to like 13.77. So 10-year yield also bouncing today, and you can see now it's trading over 4.46. And if this thing wants to continue higher, then watch out. Market might be pulling back even harder next week. Now, what's the dollar doing? We'll have a look at the dollar before we wrap up this video. And you can see dollar also bounced big time, and it's over 107.50. And looks like we might be heading back up to these highs once again, 109 plus. So if the dollar is bouncing, 10-year yield is bouncing, and VIX rising, that means one thing, you can see a lot of fear in the market and things can actually pull back even harder. But, no confirmation until SPY breaks below 600 and stays under 600. In that case, you're going to see another decent pullback in the market. And that's all I have for you guys in this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll definitely keep you guys updated going into Monday session.